Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina Scrap. In not the last video but the previous last, I created those glassine bag to go with those landscape journals, and I wanted to, and I told you that I would do something to put in those bags in the next video. So we are not the next video because I showed you the lab book flip through, but this is the next creative video. So what I thought I should put in would be like a faux deed. I've done some in the past. I'll put the link in the description below for the tutorial, but this one is a bit too big. It fits in, but it looks too squarish, it needs a little bit, it needs it to be a little bit smaller than that. So I'm going to show you how to do one. First, don't put too much of papers, but gather a couple of papers that are different sizes. If you have one, maybe that is the legal size paper format, which is 8.5 by 14 instead of 8.5 by 11.5 by 11. The letter size paper is this one. So as you can see, legal size paper is 3 inches more. 11 compared to 14. So I have a big book of those typewriter papers that I just love, and I grabbed a design page that I love. I printed both sides, but it was already printed both sides. So a tracing paper, because we love the noise, and what I love about this tracing paper is that it's a little bit larger than the papers, so it's kind of give a little bit more dimension. And then you need to go with smaller papers. So I had this already printed. It's that legal size format paper. I have 3 kits of those designs that you can print on legal size paper with a regular printer. I'm going to put the tutorial in the description below how to print on a legal size paper format with a regular printer that doesn't have the paper tray for legal size. There's a hack for that. The only time you cannot print legal size is if your printer doesn't have the legal size paper format in the paper format when you print. There's a drop down menu and you can select letter size, A4, legal size, 8 by 10, 5 by 7, that kind of measurement, the paper format. So if you don't have legal size there showing in the list, the hack won't work. And I bought a new printer that doesn't give me that choice. So by the way, it's been 2 printers that I bought because I'm always thinking that my super HP Envy 5055 that is almost 4 years old now, and that printed tons and tons and tons of papers. I guess she'll die eventually, and I'm trying to find a replacement to suggest all of you about printers, a new printer, and have kind of a spare for me because that Envy printer was like 135 Canadian dollars. So it's a cheap printer. But it prints on vellum, it prints on fabric, it prints legal size, it prints like, okay, so far I've been buying 2 printers and they do not meet my expectations. And I'm gonna do a review of those 2 printers just in case you're looking for a printer, and I'm gonna give you my tips on about those printers to not buy and maybe not do the same mistakes than me. Anyway, all that to say that this design is part of my legal size paper kit. I have 3 of those kits with different designs that are, if you enlarge that, the fit to size would be on this legal size paper. But if you print it on a letter size format, which is what I've done here, see the length, it's 11 inches. So I've been printing a legal size paper kit format on a letter size paper, and I did the option when I printed fit to size, so it kept the dimensions. So because this paper should be longer, when it printed, it gave me 2 white margins on each side. Let me show you. I have another one. So fit to size for my legal size format kit. If you print on a letter size paper, you select the option fit to size and you're going to have white bands. Same for if you're printing on A4 paper, you're going to have smaller white bands than that, and it's going to be a little bit longer because the A4 paper is a little bit longer than the letter size paper. I hope you still follow me. Anyway, this is the legal size paper kit printed on letter size format with the fit to page option. That means it didn't cut my design, and instead of cutting my design, it left some white bands on the paper to compensate. But I love that because we don't mind a slimmer version of a paper. Because look at that. Now that I've removed the white bands on both sides, I can put, let's say, a paper like that and then add more smaller at the top, and you have all those different shapes and sides of papers. So I love that legal size paper format, but printed on A4 or a letter size format. You cut the white bands and you have a tiny long paper, which is perfect to include between your junk journal pages. All right, all that to say that I have all those cute papers, and now what I need to do is to place them together, attach them, and the goal is to create a smaller version of a faux deed. All right, so I think I'm going to use this page. That's what I had in mind. So I need to have some sort of a flip to allow the brads or a thread to hold the whole document together, and being able to slide the folded document beneath it. So I need to have like a good length here. So I'm gonna make it already. And in case you wonder, because I have those kind of questions all the time, I gave it a fold at 1 3/4 or 4.5 centimeters. I think that would be perfect. I want to damage the sides of it so it looks a little bit old because it's a faux deed, and we still want it to look like a vintage antique deed. So I'm gonna create some folds like that. I'm gonna use some ink, and I go roughly. I am not gentle. Even on that fold here, that would be great. All right, now this might not be strong enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like I did for this one, add a little cardstock. Let me show you what I have. I'm keeping like notebooks covers or any paper that are stronger than regular paper for projects like that, or to create a junk journal cover out of it. I don't know, but I'm gonna use the one that I already used. See, we already have a cute border. That side might not be that cute, but here I love it. So I can go with gluing my paper like that, and and it's gonna give it more strength for holding the whole full deed together. So I'm gonna trim, I'm gonna just mark with my nail. This is my trick as an experienced scrapbooker. This is how I was measuring my stuff. So I just need to go to the trim and find back my little spot that I did with my nail. Make sure that it's all aligned and cut. All right, now let me place that back here to make sure it's okay. It is perfect. Do I want it to be larger? I don't know yet, so I won't cut it. It depends the other papers. That might look good. So I'm going to hold for now on trimming the sides, but I'll still okay, so I'm going to do the same here with damaging the sides of the paper and even this side, because this is the paper that holds everything together. So that's the paper that got the more hits. It's been damaged over time for sure. It's the paper wrapping up the whole deed. So we need to mimic that for sure. I can, you know, if you want a good fold, just fold like that, unfold it, put a little bit of ink. That corner was not folded enough. You just don't be gentle, but not enough to tear the paper too. But if you tear it by mistake, it's not a big deal. You can always use a washi tape or a full age tape. I have a video for that too. If you dig in my tutorials, I might show you how to do them again. Okay, so we're good to go for this cover page, and I'm going to put that, yeah, I'll leave it there. So now I'm going to start piling on my papers, and I guess we should start with the longer paper. This one will need to have maybe 4 folds and the others just 3. So maybe I can put that after, because it's a little bit longer as well. You know what? I think I'm going to put it between on that side, because look at that. When we'll fold it, we're going to have kind of it's more fluid than just 2 papers like that. And what I love, like I told you, is that this paper is larger. So let me show you. This paper is larger. Oh, it's folded here. We can align that on my own frame. We can align it to be showing up on both sides, and maybe I can make, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go bigger than that tracing paper. So this should be somewhere between, you see? See, I'm going to measure it this way, and here this is way too large, so I'm going to trim it about here. And now I need to damage that. Yeah, I really need to damage it. Damage the corner. Oh, I did a better job than the original. Okay, so it's going to be like this. And I'm going to glue it right away. This way, I don't have to hold it. I know where I'm going with that, so I've been doing a video of the glues like recently, the type of glue that I recommend, and My fabric tack is on my table since, and I just can't stop using it. Because as I told you, if it's not budget-wise, it's my favorite glue. Because look at that, I can glue it. I'm not afraid that it will show some glue marks through the paper, and it glues so well. Anyway, so I'm out of budget right now with that fabric tack. I might regret it. I think in the US that glue is not that expensive, but in Canada I don't have the same deals, and I found a deal like buying 12 8 ounces of fabric tack on Amazon.com. I ordered it and they canceled my purchase. Even if it allowed me to put it on in the cart and complete the purchase, they kind of canceled it. So when I realized that, I went back and I reordered it, thinking it might be a mistake, that they canceled it, and they canceled it again. So I guess I just can't order that. I don't know, maybe the shipping is too expensive, and when they realized that, they didn't give me any details about why they canceled it, so it's a bit sad. Oh, there's 2 papers here. So as you can see, I'm trying to level my things just to make it cute. They can go straight to up, but if they would be too small, I guess you could glue that piece smaller like that. My idea of a faux deed though is that, like, I've put, these will go inside those glassine bags, so they are for one of you to purchase. And within that, it's all vintage papers. Like, this is vintage, this is vintage, this is vintage, and the others are just really cute papers. But I'm thinking I don't want to glue them together in case someone wants to deconstruct this. That makes me think this has holes and I want to see them. So what I'm gonna do is I won't be gluing them together or sew them together, but if it's just your creation, you can just glue them together, and this way you can cheat a little bit, because that border here, through here, you can cheat a little bit. You could put the paper like that, right? That would be awesome, actually. This one it's a music sheet that is vintage, but I've been doing some modeling paste. Do you see the little bird there? And it's a branch. It's really cute. Okay, so I'm gonna move my faux deed on the side to attach it. I'll just make sure that everything is aligned. This looks good, right? If I hold it, you see all the layers, and if we flip it, there's a little bit less layers, but we don't really look on that side. We're gonna look on that side. So now I want to attach that. I can use some brads. These are vintagey ones that I found at the thrift store. These are my scrapbooking brads, but they're not as long. So I'm going to use them because they're fancy, they're vintage, and they look great for that. And the goldish color match perfectly this paper kit for the faux deed. So we need to remember not to put the brad in the middle, because we're going to fold all that and slide it beneath that. So we need to put the brads maybe at this level, so they're not too close to the edge here, but they're not too much in the middle or close to the other edge, because we need to slide the paper here. So I think here would be perfect, and I'll just measure so both are at the same level. I'll give it maybe 2 inches from the side of this paper. So it's really a personal taste. That could be 2 inch and a quarter, 2 inch and a half, an inch. It's just to make sure that both are aligned. So I said 2 inch. Right. Not sure if you see well, but I see my 2 dots. And I'm gonna use my crocodile because I want to create a tiny hole, because those are really huge. So even if I just take a needle, it's not enough. And I want a small punch, and my only small punch is this one. Okay, so I'm gonna find my hole here and do that on both sides. Do both holes. Put my brads. Maybe I'm a bit too much on the side, but it's okay. As long as you still have some paper, right? You want some paper, but they could have been a little bit like 2 millimeters more in the middle. And folding those big brads, that looks awesome. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it cute? So now we just need to figure out the folding, because we want to make sure that this fits inside this bag. So this bag is about 5 inches. So I need to aim for maybe 4 inches, not more than that. Otherwise, it will fill the bag too much, and we need some looseness. Like, if I'm using this one, this is, by the way, my next video. I'm going to show you how to do those. You see, we have some movement, some possible movement there. So that would be kind of perfect. Okay, so all that to say, if I measure this, that is less than 4 inches. It's a tall, slim journal. So less than 4 inches, that forces me to fold less than 4 inches. So I'm gonna grab my ruler. I'm not so precise usually, but it's because today I really wanted to fit inside those bags. So I need to be more precise. This is less than 4 inches. That should be great. So I'm going to fold like that. So look at that right now. Oh, I'm going to refold this one more straight. Okay. This. Okay. Everything else needs to be folded a way that when I'm done with that, it slides there. So my next fold will need to be somewhere between the brads here and the edge, which is here, right? So I need to maybe fold here. If I fold here, and I look here, I'm okay, because I don't want it to be too thin. Okay, so here, like that, let me put my ruler. That's gonna be my trick here. And I'm not moving anything, and I'll put back, oh, what about that? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put my ruler. You know, sometimes having lines like that can help you, so you can maybe align this top here following the line here. If you have a mat too, that works. And then I can put my ruler following this line to be straight. And then I'm gonna hold everything down here. Move the top, hold it like that, and then create the other fold. This will be my other fold, and I just need to fold again those pages. And to help myself, I'm going to fold them inside the other fold here, and I can reverse the fold after that. Not a big deal. And I think it's going to be too long still, so I'm going to fold again this one. I hope you follow. Okay, so the goal here, I could leave it like that and just open. And when I close this, I need to bend it a little bit like that to go under it. It looks like that. Isn't it cute? And I can add more stuff, but for now, this is what it looks like. So when I open it, I can leave it like that, or I can put those folds reverse now that I know where they need to be folded, and so they would be all inside. See, I have my fold here, and I have my fold here. Okay, so I can place them all like that, right? Oh, this didn't hold. Okay, this one I'm gonna glue it. Tiny piece of paper. This one I'm gonna attach it just to this one so they kind of go together. I don't want to attach it to the cover here because we need to slide the document. And I don't want to put the glue through everything because I don't want it to be glued on the other paper, and I want it to be like this. Okay, I think this should be okay. All right, so it goes like this, you see? So we can fold, refold, fold again, and then we slide. And what about we attach it with a thread that looks like an old one, and I'm gonna make it long enough that we can maybe go around the faux deed a couple of times. Here you go. 3-4 times. Oh, I could even do another one. Let me do another one. You know, it looks better when you have a couple of layers, so it's the same idea for the thread. And of course I can maybe trim the excess, but this would be something like that. That's the faux deed. You can add maybe some laces and other thing, or just especially the cover here, that top section, you can glue, you can add more because it will always be folded like that. Inside you might not want to put too much because it's going to be too thick, but at the back you can of course add some as well. Now if I place it inside the bag, it has some looseness, and maybe I can just add, like, this one is not long enough, like a stack of papers like that, and here you go. Look at that. This is perfect for a happy mail or your own collection, or to go with a junk journal. Here you go. So I hope you liked the idea and you figured out. To me it seems like my instructions were not that clear, but yeah, I hope you've been able to follow me with the folds. Just practice, I guess. So thanks for watching, and in the next video I'm gonna show you how to do this. Bye bye.